Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. If you are here today for the Goldstein wedding, you're in the wrong place because we're going to celebrate with Frannie as she becomes a bat mitzvah today. Frannie, you could have a seat. I'm going to sing a couple of songs and get people in the right mood. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. How good it is for us to be together today. Hine ma tov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Gam yachad, hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I say Shabbat Shalom, which means a Sabbath of peace, and you say the same thing.
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, now I feel warm
Yeah.
and welcomed and like I'm in a community. It is so wonderful to see you all here at Shabbat services as we celebrate as Frannie becomes a bat mitzvah. Welcome to all of you who are here in the sanctuary and to all of you who are worshiping with us via the live stream. Thank you, Live Control and Jacob Bronstein, for ensuring we can worship close by and at distances. If you're in the worshiping with us from a distance, please drop your name and where you're streaming in from into the chat so the family will know you are here and be able to celebrate with you later. Thank you all for wearing your masks, those of you who are in this room. If you haven't read the newspaper, the news lately, incidence of COVID is 5 times higher this Memorial Day than it was last Memorial Day.
Wow.
Luckily, a whole bunch of people are vaccinated, and I think almost everyone here, if not everyone here, is. But the synagogue is taking certain things slowly when the numbers rise. So our bat mitzvah will take it off. She's been tested and retested. And we all will endure the discomfort we're getting used to celebrate. But smile with your eyes, okay, and feel that warmth. Now, we're going to be in this room for about 90 minutes. If you need to use the restrooms, they're right behind that wall, but don't use the door here. Just go through the glass doors you walked in outside the sanctuary and make a left and it's down that hallway. If you're at home worshiping with us, I'm hoping you know where the bathroom is. If you need a drink of water, go out and to the right. Behind the divider is a filtered water faucet and there's cups up in one of the cabinets. You'll drink the water out there and then come on in and join us here. If you're at home and you're wondering you're hungry or thirsty, Grubhub. We don't get a kickback on it, but any of those. This would be a great time for everybody to take out your cell phones and make sure they are off. Now, I find that the cell phone that goes off during the service is the one that you are 100% sure right now is off. So please do take them out and check. If you're over 50, you have to take them out and check, because it's not going to be one of the kids whose cell phone's going. I'm 58, I can say that. Okay? And I thank you for doing that. Lastly, we're a singing congregation. So it's much more joyous if you sing. Most of the prayers have a lai to them. If you don't know the Hebrew, to the lai. There are also prayer books, and we'll tell you where it is. For those of you who are on the live stream, I am dropping the prayer book, a link to it into the chat, so you can download it if you want. Cantor Doug, why don't you
let's
sing?
sing again. Shalom, 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 shalom. Lo yisagoel goy cherem, lo yilmadu milchama, lo yisagoel goy cherem, lo yilmadu milchama. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Nations will not lift up swords anymore. No one will study war. Nations will not lift up swords anymore. No one will study war. Shalom, shalom, shalom,
Thank you. I'd like to invite Nicole and Robert to join me up here on the bima for our bat mitzvah. Stand right over here in the face. Frannie, at special moments like this, we dress up with a dress, nice shoes, a kippah, and a talit. A talit is just a piece of cloth with strings on the ends of it. But these strings, when wrapped a certain number of times and tied with these 5 knots, they become tzitzit. Reminders we're told to make in the Torah. Reminders of the 613 commandments. Mitzvot to live a good, honest, ethical, ritual-filled Jewish life. You have been raised by your parents who love Judaism, to embrace Judaism. And now you'll turn in a moment and take from them this talit, wrapping yourself in it. As you do, feel their love. The love and support of all the people gathered here and on the live stream. Feel perhaps God's presence. So take the talit now from your parents. And turn back around and say the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehidatef bat tzitzit.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, God of the universe, who makes us holy with mitzvot and commands us to wrap ourselves in the fringes of the talit. At special moments like this, we want to hold on to him. We want to raise them up as holy moments, recognizing that this is a moment of growth, of transition. And so we do so with a blessing. Shehechianu, in which case we thank God for giving us life, for keeping us in life, and for bringing us to this joyous occasion. The prayer is Shehechianu, and if you know it, we invite you to sing along with us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiman v'hi Zman hazeh. Page 388. 388. It's the last page in the prayer book. A page of lyrics has been pasted in. Remember, it's a Hebrew book and goes from right to left. And if you're at home on the live stream and you're using our virtual prayer book, it's page 1. So you're on the first page at home and the last page here in the sanctuary. Shema B'ni, take these wings to fly with. EBT, with these roots you'll grow. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, you are the blessing. Shema B'ni, Shimi Biti. God's children come into this shelter, a place of peace, a house of prayer, a center of learning, of justice, of giving, where everyone's loved and where everyone cares. Shema B'ni, mother comes, the cry of her infant. The young boy reads and becomes a man. Vows are exchanged as two hearts become one. A daughter returns, reads Kaddish again. Shema B'ni, of eagles, and you will grow like a sturdy tree. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, and you are the blessing. Shema B'ni, Shimi Biti.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 26 in the prayer book here in the sanctuary, page 2 on the prayer book at home. If you are able, we invite you to please rise.
Da Yid Gadol V'Yid Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'amadi V'Rachir Utei Ve'amlich Malchutei B'chayechon Uvyomechon Uvchayedecho Be'Yisrael Bagala Bagala Uvizman Kariv V'imeru Amen Leheshmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'alam U'omei Omaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yit'aleh v'yit halal shemei dekudesha berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'al miran be'alma v'imiru amen.
Turn the page, page 28. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated, and we'll continue on page 35 here in the sanctuary. If you're at home on the live stream, it's page number 3, page 35 here. If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your mind. Write them and learn them, teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter, it gets in the way. And listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill, from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen. If you're able, I invite you to rise and we'll sing the Shema together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, to our God. Listen, listen to our God. And we'll continue on page 36 as Frannie leads us in the Ve'ahavta. It's page 3 on the live stream. Frannie? Go ahead.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha vaderech uveshochbecha uvekumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 40 in the prayer book and page 4 on the live stream. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la,
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה.
Together, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la
מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, שאי לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Together, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 Continue on page 44 with Veishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We'll continue in our prayer book on page 48, page 5 at the live stream. If you're able, please rise.
Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, El HaGadol, HaGibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tov.
Ancient laws, golden glories, it's the way we study, the book we study, it's the way we study, the way. Today my life is full of choice. Because a young man raised his voice. Because a young girl took a chance. Years ago they crossed the sea, and they made a life that's come to me. I'm standing on the shoulders of the ones who came before me. So in the garden I'll plant a seed, a tree of life for you to read. The fruit will ripen in the sun, Words will sound when I am gone. These are the things I pass along. The fruit, the book, and the song. Of the one who came before me.
Avi, come on up. Mom and Dad. Grandma Jan and Zadie Sid. And Zadie Sid. I'm going to invite you all now to please rise as we remove the Torah from the ark.
Ki mitzihon tetzei Torah, ki mitzihon tetzei Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah Torah le'amo Yisrael bekedushato.
Frannie, Vizot HaTorah, this is the Torah. Vizot HaDakan, this is the moment. We're going to pass it to you. We stand here today surrounded by loved ones, 2 grandparents, your parents, your brother who, we have to wait a couple more years for your bar mitzvah, but we can't wait. And with all the people who are gathered here, we also welcome your grandma Mimi, who is streaming in from North Carolina. Everybody wave to the camera over there. To Nana, to Grandma. And we remember your grandpa Harvey, who died in 2016 and who would be very, very proud of the young woman you are becoming today. We stand here ready to pass down Torah, midor lador, from generation to generation. This Torah here is here for one purpose: to come into the arms of people like you who have studied so long and hard, who've taken Torah into their minds and hearts, who with the love and support of family and a community are ready to assume the responsibility of not just learning Torah, but of taking the ideas of Torah and bringing it out to change the world. I like to say that we live in a world that says it's all about being happy. But Torah reminds us that while happiness is good, we've been put on this earth to strive to be holy. We live in a world that teaches us it's all about getting rich. about making a buck. And Torah says money's okay. But really, we've been given what we have to help enrich the lives of everyone. And we live in a world that teaches us it's all about me, that I can do what I want. But Torah comes and says, you have a greater responsibility to transform this broken world into a place filled with emet, truth, and tzedek, justice, to fill it with ahava, with love, so it will be a place of shalom, of peace. I know you have a mind wise enough, a heart kind enough, and shoulders strong enough to carry this responsibility. V'zot hadakah, this is the moment. V'zot Torah, that we pass Torah to you.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kahadosh. Shema. Put your prayer books on the seat behind you. Clap your hands. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Yisakoel goy chere, lo yilmud milchama. Yisakoel goy chere, lo yilmud milchama. Lo yisakoel goy chere, lo yilmud milchama. Lo yisakoel goy chere, lo yilmud milchama. Hallelujah, 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 Please be seated.
You are about to experience something incredible, something miraculous. A young woman in the 21st century taking words that go back 2,500 or 5,000 years and to bring them to life, and then soon to teach us what they mean, their importance and significance to us. To help us do so, we're going to invite up a number of relatives for an Aliyah LeTorah to physically come up here on the Bima, but more importantly, to be close to and be able to bless Torah, our spiritual source book. I have the Torah blessings right here in Hebrew, English, and transliteration, so you'll be able to have those, and let's call.
Yeah, first Aliyah's Uncle BJ. Come on up. Yamo Harishon Baruch Ben Shlomo Ben Veshena Devora.
Amen.
Wait, hold on one
Let him
second.
do the blessing.
He'll do the blessing.
Torah just wants to be
She
heard.
just wants to go.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch
Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai naten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe b'midbar Sinai be'ohel moed be'echad lachodesh hasheni bashana hashenit l'tzeitam me'eretz Mitzrayim lemor Se'u at Rosh Kol Adat B'nei Israel Lemishpechotam Leveit Avotam B'mispar Shemot Kol Zachar Leguilotam Miben Esrim Shana V'mala Kol Yotzei Tzava Be'Yisrael Tivkedu Otam, Litziv Otam, Ata v'Aharon, V'itchem Yeheyu, Ish, Lamata, Ish, Rosh Leveit Avotav,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'he'olam nata betachenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
As we get ready to call up our next Aliyah, we do want to give a special thanks to our bar and bat mitzvah teacher, Diane Townsend, who is streaming with us. Diane works with all our students and teaches them to chant the ancient words into an ancient tune to bring to life our ancient past. She's a wonderful teacher, friend, and support, and we thank Diane. And we continue.
Yeah, indeed. Our second aliyah is cousin Daniel. Please come up. Yamor Hasheni Daniel ben David.
Yeah, ready. But don't do it. Okay, ready? Compose. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvakorach. Le'om va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachanu mikol ha'amim.
V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah. Amen.
Amen. Eile Kru'ei ha'eda Nisi'ei matot avotam Rashi Alfei Yisrael Heim Vayikach Moshe V'Aharon Eit ha'anashim ha'ele Asher nikvu b'shemot V'eit kol ha'eda hikhilu Be'echad lachodesh hasheni Vayichaldu al mishpechotam Leveit avotam B'mispar shemot Mi ben esrim shana V'mala legugilotam.
Beautiful.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torah emet.
V'chayei olam nata b'tuchenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
For our third aliyah, we call up mom and dad. Yamdu Ashlishi, Metuna Ella Bat Shlomo V'Shena Devora, Ve'Ruven Yitzchak, Ben Chaim Yitzchak.
Baruch Adonai Havorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe vayifkedem b'midbar Sinai vayiheu b'nei Reuven bechor Yisrael toldotam l'mishpechotam levet avotam B'mispar shemot legogelotam kol zachar miben esrim shana v'mala kol yotzei tzava pikudehem lematei Reuven shisha v'arba'im elef v'chamesh me'ot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. I'll take these.
And now for our final aliyah, we call up the bat mitzvah. Tamod harivihi, habachura habat mitzvah, hamavtir, fegahana, bat metuna ela v'ruvain yitzchak, chizki, chizki, v'nitchazek.
Baruch hu et Adonai Havorach.
Baruch Adonai Havorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Havorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Livnei Shimon toldotam l'mishpechotam levet avotam pikudav b'mispar shemot legogelotam kol zachar miben esrim shana v'mala kol yotzei tzava pikudehem lematei Shimon Tisha v'chamishim elef u'shlosh me'ot livnei God toldotam l'mishpechotam levet avotam b'mispar shemot miben esrim shana v'mala kol yotzei tzava. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Let me invite up Avi to help us dress the Torah, and everybody please rise as we give honor to the Torah.
Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim bo v'chol netivoteh shalom v'rachea darcheno v'chol netivoteh Please be seated.
So the mic will pick you up. You can take off your mask now.
There we go.
Hey.
Got the kippah.
Thank you.
I think it needs pinning down.
Sweet.
There we
Up
go.
and down very well.
Now just turn here and look at your mom and dad. Stand up.
Frannie, be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are. We have a poem for you.
Frannie, it is all parents' hope and dream that their children will be happy and succeed in this world. In fact, there's really nothing better to a mom and a dad than to look at their child and say to themselves, I'm not sure I could have done that as well as my child did.
Frannie, my grandmother Frances, your eponym, tried to teach me the piano, but to my chagrin, I never learned. But you, when you play How Great Grandma Must Sigh, Frannie, my dear, you're better than I.
Frannie, I know that you know that I don't like to write. I'd much rather do math or program all night. But you, well, I've seen your speech. Gloria Steinem, stand by. Frannie, my girl, you're better than I.
When contact with people left Avi unsafe, you waited 2 years to see friends like a waif. Such a task. At your age, no one asked me to try. Kind-hearted Frannie, you're better than I. We'll share one last thought on this day of Simcha. Neither mom
Nor dad became B'nai Mitzvah. We are as proud as two parents could be.
Frannie, dear Frannie, you're better than we. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
We're now going to switch over back to Frannie's mother tongue, to English, and learn a little about what the Torah portion means to her. Are you ready?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
When a girl becomes a bat mitzvah, she becomes a Jewish adult. To become an adult in the Jewish tradition, you have to learn a Torah portion. My parents wanted me to become a bat mitzvah because they want me to grow and become an adult. But what does becoming a bat mitzvah mean to me? Why did I try to study a song in another language for months and months? Becoming a bat mitzvah separates childhood from adulthood in the Jewish community. I feel a connection to the Jewish community when I go to Orami. I love Rabbis Julia and Paul, and Judaism gives me solace. I turned to my Jewish roots when the war in Ukraine started. I was frightened there would be a world war. I wanted a connection to God. The Shema was the most important prayer I knew, so I stuck its words on the roof of my bunk bed. The words of the Shema tell us, "Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God. Adonai is one." How does this relate to my Torah portion? My Torah portion, Bamidbar, is also known as the Book of Numbers, and in it, God commands Moses to take a census of the whole Israelite community. That is, God asks Moses to count the Israelites, and Moses counts every tribe. According to the Shema, God is one. I thought about this, and though there are many ways to interpret these words, I realized that if God is one, God must be the first to be counted, which, of course, underlines the fact that counting is important. Everyone knows this. We learned it on Sesame Street. Starting today, I count. I count as an adult Jew. So, imagine my surprise that when I discovered that in my Torah portion, I did not count. Here's what I mean. The census God commands Moses to take only includes men of fighting age. If Moses was taking a census of potential soldiers, why did he not include women? Things have changed since then. Today, Israeli women are required to fight in Israel's military, and I am sad to say that there are women fighting in Ukraine right now. Even though these changes are not entirely positive, there are others that are. I am going to switch tracks now and talk to you about my breakfast. This morning, I ate yogurt made from rescued lemons. These lemons were bruised or deformed lemons that farmers had discarded. In other words, these lemons had been discounted, left out of the count. Yet, the yogurt was delicious. No human being should be discounted. All of us have the potential to be great, like the lemons in the yogurt. Haman discounted Esther, which led to the salvation of the Jewish people and his own destruction. Everyone discounted Ruth Bader Ginsburg up until the day she changed course of changed the course of sexual discrimination law with her clever arguments on behalf of men. I will not be discounted. Here I am, up on the bima. There was no word for bat mitzvah until 1922. When my Torah portion was written, I could not have read from the Torah or had a bat mitzvah. Bat mitzvah ceremonies were not common until the 1970s and 1980s. As glad as I am to be up here, this is not enough progress for women. Israel took only 20 years to elect a female prime minister, but the U.S., founded in 1776, still has not had a female president. I will be there for it, though. It's coming. I will be there, because I count. One bat mitzvah girl. Ah, 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 ah.
Thank you.
And now there are a few people I want to thank. Mom, thank you for being my mom. I love how you make me laugh when you tuck me in at night. Ani ohevet otach, I love you. Dad, thank you for all your help with math and for filming me for my bat mitzvah project so I could read stories to kids on YouTube during quarantine. Gam ani ohevet otcha, I also love you. Avi, you are my number one protector. If you suspect anyone is even thinking about hurting me, you rush to my defense. You are a winner. I love you. Grandma Jan, thank you for being there for everyone. I really like shopping with you online. You are my heart. I love you.
Keep going.
Grandma Mimi, I am so glad you are celebrating with us online from South Carolina. Thank you for always sending me cards for every occasion. I love you and miss you and hope to come and see you soon. Grandpa Zadie, thank you for coming all this way from Houston to be here. It means so much to me. I love you. Ariel, thank you for getting me through some very rough times and being there for me. I appreciate you. Cantor Doug. Thank you for your beautiful music. What would this service be without you? Rabbi Julia, thank you for helping me write my speech. Rabbi Paul, thank you for leading my service. Thank you both for believing in me even when I doubted myself. Diane, thank you for teaching me Hebrew. I was so lucky to have you for a teacher. For all of you watching on live stream, thank you for sharing your time with me. I am deeply touched. And to all of you here, thank you for coming and making my day special. You have done a mitzvah by honoring me with your presence. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov. Semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov. Semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov. Yehelanu, 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 ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael.
Pretty great, huh?
Yep,
Awesome.
we were rocking.
We are so proud of you. You led so well, chanted so well, taught us so well, and we are thrilled to celebrate with you. You led us in prayer with such joy, and your speech was both entertaining and informative.
That's right.
And you made a very strong statement about what it means to be a Jew and who counts. And in fact, we're proud that the Reform movement was the first movement to ordain women. Sally Presand, it's 50 years since Rabbi Sally Presand became a rabbi. And just at our rabbinical convention in March, we celebrated the first 10 years of women ordained to the rabbinate. No Jew should be separated from Torah, from Jewish leadership. And I'm proud that our movement has led the way with that. Now, we have for you a gift. This is a mezuzah for the doorpost of your house, like you chanted in the Ve'ahavta prayer. As you put it up, make sure you'll angle it inward, not outward. It's not angled out to tell the people out there to remember the ideas that are in here. But it's angled in to remind the people who live in that room or that house, you and your family, that we have a responsibility. Shema, to remember God is one and we are part of that oneness. To remember tzedek, that we have a responsibility to do justice in this world. And chesed, that we must bring kindness to others. That's the only way we will heal the brokenness of this world. So this is for you, and I'm going to leave this right here. Now, I'm going to take this wonderful young woman before the ark to share some words of blessing with her. I want you all to imagine that you were standing in my shoes. What words of blessing, of praise would you share with Frannie? I know that later on during the weekend, you'll find it time to pull her aside and her parents aside and share those words of blessing with her. And for those of you who are streaming in via the live stream, take this as an opportunity to chat, to drop some words of praise, of blessing into the chat so that Frannie and her family can read them later on. So for now, sit back, listen to the beautiful music, and think words of blessing.
We are gifts, and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope, and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words, and we are stories. We are pictures of past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Lador vador nagid god lecha. Lador vador we protect this chain. Generation to generation, the door vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our heart, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy. We are children of your way. That bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. Lador vador nagid god lecha. Lador vador we protect this chain from generation to generation. Dor vador, these lips will
Even in times of joy like this, we take a moment to remember our loved ones who are no longer with us. The memory of them can still warm us. Their love can still inspire us. Some of you here are remembering your loved ones during this time of Kaddish. As I bring my hand around the room, I invite you to mention their names and relationship to you aloud. This evening, we are remembering
great grandma, whom is named after me, and my piano teacher, Mr. Francis.
May their memories be a blessing. We also remember may their memories be for blessing. Let's turn on to page 294 here in the sanctuary, 294 and page 8 at home, and I invite you to please rise for Kaddish.
Yitgadal
Yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'almad Yivarach Hirutei V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon V'yomechon, Uv'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'zman Kariv Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam U'omei Amaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitba'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitdaleh v'yitalal brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shloma rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'rumav u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We're now going to, let me have you put your prayer books down. We're now going to close Shabbat with a very special service. It's called Havdalah. It means separation. There's some symbols and there's some words. But first, we have to learn the words. They're very easy. How many of you speak Hebrew? Well, I'm going to give it to you in Hebrew anyways. Repeat after me. Lie, lie, lie.
Lie, lie, lie.
Okay, for those of you who are uncomfortable with Hebrew, let me give it to you in English. Lie, lie, lie.
Lie, lie.
So you all can do it. Let's sing along. So there are three symbols with which we end the Sabbath. Sweet wine, or in this case, Kedem grape juice, 100% juice, kosher too. And then we have sweet smelling spices grown in God's earth, a reminder that on Shabbat we don't act on the earth, we just observe or enjoy the earth, and perhaps in the week ahead, we'll spend more time taking care of the earth. And then a multi-wick candle, a reminder of the many parts of the world and that we come from to be here today, to celebrate the holiness of Shabbat and the holiness of this young woman. So you'll sing the Lai-Lais, I'll give you the blessings, and we'll end Shabbat. Adonai Eloheinu, Melech HaOlam, Borei Pri Hagafen, places. Baruch atah.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu.
Adonai Eloheinu
Melech haolam.
Melech haolam
Borei minei v'samim.
Borei minei v'samim Borei minei v'samim Yadadadadai Yaladadadadai
And the candle. Baruch atah.
Baruch
Adonai Eloheinu.
Adonai
Melech haolam.
Melech haolam
Borei me'orei ha'esh.
Borei me'orei ha'esh Borei me'orei ha'esh Baruch
Adonai
atah
Eloheinu.
Adonai Eloheinu
Melech haolam.
Melech haolam
Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol.
המבדיל בין קודש לחול. המבדיל בין קודש לחול.
Eliyahu hanavi.
אליהו הנביא.
Eliyahu hatishbi.
Eliyahu התשבי.
Eliyahu Eliyahu.
Eliyahu Eliyahu
Eliyahu hagiladi.
Eliyahu hagiladi במהרה ויאמנו
Yavo Eleinu.
יבוא אלינו
Mashiach ben David.
עם משיח בן דוד
Mashiach ben David.
אליהו עם משיח הנביא
Eliyahu hanavi.
Eliyahu
Elijah the prophet is the one who will announce the coming of the Messiah, the one who will end war and violence and famine and poverty and more. We just don't wait for a Messiah to come. We go out into the world and change and fix the world so that when the Messiah finally gets around here, we'll be pretty much close to that place. And then it'll truly be a Shavua Tov, a good week.
Shavua Tov
Shavua Tov,
Shavua Tov Shavua Tov Shavua
a good week,
A good week
a week of peace.
Week of peace
May gladness
May
reign
gladness reign
and joy and
Joy and grace
Okay, everybody, wait 1 second.
Don't move a muscle yet Rabbi's got to check on what's going on next Because otherwise we're just going to stay here And we're going to miss dinner And we're not going to have a party
What are you serving?
What am I serving tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, tonight we're having udon. Udon, something exotic.
Anyone who wants udon instead?
who wants udon?
No. We're going to go from here to celebrate at the Agora Hill Sheraton
Oh, nice.
and enjoy. Thank you for being here. We ask that you wear your masks until you leave the premises. Shabbat Shalom. Shavua Tov, I mean.
Shalom.